Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful model for education, one that's all about building professionals who are actually ready for the future. We're talking about going way beyond just knowing stuff.
It's a question we've probably all thought about. And a lot of the time, it really comes down to a critical difference in how they were prepared. And spoiler alert, it's not just about the grades they got.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We're going to start by looking at a problem that's pretty common in education, what we'll call the readiness gap. That space between what you learn in a classroom and what you actually need to do to succeed out in the real world. And this awesome infographic right here from Abdesamed Reda Gamari for the ACM and IEEE-CS, well, it gives us a fantastic roadmap. It shows us how to bridge that gap by zeroing in on one single powerful idea: competency.
So what is competency? Well, here's the core idea, the formula, if you will. It's not just one thing. Think of it as this perfect blend of what you know, that's your knowledge, plus what you can do, your skills, and how you behave, your dispositions. And the key is that it's all applied to a real task.
All right, so let's really dig into that. We're going to dissect this whole concept of competency and figure out what really makes a professional tick.
First up, we've got pillar number 1, knowledge. This is the foundation, right? It's the part we're all super familiar with from school. This is the know what.
Yeah, this is the bedrock of any field. It's all the core concepts, the facts, the theories. It's everything from the simple, concrete stuff you memorize to those really big, complex, abstract ideas that define an entire area of study.
And check this out. This table does a brilliant job of showing how we measure knowledge. See, it's not just about memorizing stuff. It's a whole spectrum. You start at the bottom, just remembering facts, but you move all the way up to being able to analyze, evaluate, and even create completely new work. That's a huge leap.
Okay, so knowledge is our foundation. Now let's build on top of that. Let's talk about the second pillar, which is all about actually doing something with that knowledge. This is where skills come in, the know-how.
Right. So if knowledge is the know what, then skills are the know how. This is literally where the rubber meets the road. It's where theory gets put into practice. It's that absolutely critical bridge between just understanding an idea and being able to actually use it to do something useful.
And now for our third pillar. And honestly, this is the one I find the most fascinating, and it's so often the one that gets overlooked. We're talking about dispositions, the know why.
What's so cool about this is that it gets into the human element of work. Dispositions, the know why, are all about your attitudes, your behaviors, that professional character and mindset you bring to the table every single day.
I mean, just take a look at this list. We're talking about being proactive, self-directed, passionate, collaborative. These are the things that really make a difference, right? You can't just memorize this stuff for an exam. These are the traits that truly separate someone who's just good at their job from someone who is absolutely great.
Let's take proactive, for instance. It's that amazing quality of just getting things done, taking the initiative, not just sitting around waiting for someone to tell you what to do next.
Or how about being collaborative? That's all about being a team player, understanding that the biggest, most important goals, well, they're almost always achieved together.
And then there's being inventive. That's that inner drive to look beyond the simple, easy answers, to not just find a solution, but to find a better one. That's a game changer.
Okay, so we've got our 3 pillars: knowledge, skills, and dispositions. But the real magic happens when they all come together. So how does this actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at competency in action.
This software engineering example is perfect because it shows the whole picture. You've got to have the knowledge to understand what's needed. Then you need the communication and teamwork skills to actually use that knowledge. But on top of all that, you need the dispositions, like being purpose-driven and a great collaborator, to really knock it out of the park. See? You can't just have one. They all have to work together, in sync.
So what's the big payoff here? Why does this matter so much? Well, when you design a curriculum around this whole model, you build well-rounded, holistic professionals. It means we're connecting theory to practice, valuing those professional attitudes, and developing graduates who are genuinely career-ready. We're talking about people who can hit the ground running and succeed from day one.
So this leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. What would happen if our education system started measuring things like a student's attitude and their ability to collaborate just as much as we measure their test scores? Bringing this model in doesn't mean we forget about knowledge. It means we make it richer, we make it more complete.
and that could totally reshape the professionals of the future.
And before we go, we have to give a huge thank you to Professor Gumari Abdisamid for his incredible contribution and for all his help in co-producing this overview. It was invaluable. And that's it for this explainer. Thanks for joining us.